This is Computer Forensics, and welcome to Rider News! Yay!
Now everyone's getting into the action here at Rider News. Thank you to the Computer Forensics class for that shout out. It's good to see that our students and faculty can be so energetic. It's Friday, March 16th. I'm Annabelle.
And I'm Donovan. With a new week comes a new flavor of the feed for our show. So open wide as we start scooping, and this week the information just couldn't be sweeter.
If you are interested in our Running Start program where you can earn college credits and attend classes at Peninsula College while you're still a high school student, we have some news for you. Running Start has a campus tour and information night on April 11th. The tour starts at 6:30 p.m. and the informatory presentation starts at 7 p.m. So if you want to learn a little bit about Running Start, it's on April 11th. Don't be late.
For those of you who are interested in the Varsity Letter Community Service, the applications are available in room 109 and must be turned in by April 1st. And no, this is not an April Fool's prank. You can actually get a varsity letter and community service. So add up all of your community service hours and fill out the application today.
Our sports teams have been playing hard and gotten some wins for our school. Girls golf beat North Mason with a combined score of 253, and Jillian Ellefson led the team with a personal score of 57. Boys soccer beat Tolada Winlock in a non-league game to begin their season. JV softball beat Cedra Woodley in both away games. The final scores for both games was 14-5 and 15-4, a total blowout in both games.
You've probably heard of the walkout that took place on campus this past Wednesday, but there are other activities taking place that you might not be aware of. In honor of the victims of the Parkland incident, Cheyenne Wheeler has pledged 17 days of positivity and has asked both students and teachers alike to join her in this pledge. Stay tuned at the end of this episode for more information on the 17-day pledge and how you can participate.
The tuna drive that we've been talking about so often in recent shows is going to be ending on March 30th. So hurry and turn in those cans of tuna to Mr. Hamilton before time runs out. Remember, the advisory that turns in the most cans gets a reward.
That feed left me very inspired. I think I'm going to get into that 17-day pledge. How do you feel, Annabelle?
17 days of positivity sounds like a great idea. I hope all students participate. And speaking of positivity and good deeds, have you heard of the AmeriCorps?
Nah, what's it about?
It's like the teacher's assistants. They help out in some classes for a period, then move on to their next class. But AmeriCorps brings in some high school graduates to help them teach some tricks and techniques for math and English and basically just for school in general. It's very helpful for students who have a hard time in class.
What are your names?
My name is Jackie.
I'm Natalie.
What do you guys do here at the school?
We tutor students.
Yes, we tutor students.
Yes.
We tutor the students. How can students find you and what's the classroom?
I'm sure we're room 109 all the way down the hall from the main office.
And we also do after-school tutoring on Mondays and Thursdays in the library.
What is your favorite memory of helping students?
Well, we work with some pretty funny students, so there's lots of good memories. Some really funny students. But one student recently gave me a nice Valentine's Day gift, which I really liked, so thank you.
Favorite memory, maybe just a random student dropping in to say hi, or just randomly giving people hugs.
How did you get into the AmeriCorps thing?
Mine was pretty random. I'm from Virginia, and I just applied online, and I decided to move to Washington. So then I came here.
Yes.
I lived here before I started AmeriCorps, so I found it on the school district website, and then I applied the same way as Jackie did.
Do you enjoy it?
Yes, I do. Yes.
It may not seem like it all the time, but we do. We
Yes.
enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That will make everything so much easier for those students that are having a hard time in class. Thank you so much for helping out. Let's take a quick look into who is participating in the ASB elections and what they are running for.
People have been campaigning for the 2018-2019 ASB President, Vice President, Secretary, and Treasurer positions. This election cycle, each candidate ran unopposed. So we are pleased to announce that next year's ASB officers are...
Hi, I'm Sawyer Larson. I'm going to be your ASB Vice President for the coming term. I'm really excited to be working with all of the students at Port Angeles High School alongside of the ASB Leadership Organization. I can't wait to hear all of your guys' ideas to improve the school and make it the best it can be for everybody. Thank you.
That seems like a very strong leadership team for next year. I'm also excited to see who is running for class officer positions. Remember, if you want to run for class officer, applications are being handed out in room 114. Don't forget to see Ms. Helpenstell for more information.
And if you're wondering about that student walkout that happened on Wednesday, don't worry. Rider News was there, and we are bringing you a feature segment on it next week. For now, settle in with some book talk and listen to Jessica break down the Hunger Games.
Hello students, welcome to another episode of Book Talk. Today we're going to be reading Huck Finn by Mark Twain. Now this story is about a kid named Huckleberry Finn, unfortunately named after a famous movie star of his time. He had a really mean dad who bullied him a lot, so he ran away to live in the woods to be raised by wolves. He basically became an Alaskan bush kid, and to get nutrients and to find food, he ended up biting the heads off of bats like Ozzy Osbourne. He gets kidnapped by an old evil witch who forces him back into civilization. This is a mistake she would pay for later, for he was addicted to the bat heads. In addition to having animalistic tendencies like snatching bats right out of the air and biting their heads off to eat their contained nutrients, he was actually super rich, and his dad found out, and he gets mad because he wants to be rich. So he takes Huck's social security number, takes off his fingerprints, steals his identity and his credit card to take all of his money. Huck loses it, and he just starts biting the heads off of bats to the song Crazy Train on a rampage. After his rampage, and he's steamed off a little bit, he takes his friend who's bullied a lot, and they go on a canoe journey to find themselves. After this canoe journey goes on for a while, they become river pirates, and they start fighting other pirates and stealing money. Later on, Huck becomes a master of disguise. He starts dressing up as little girls, and even his best friend Tom, who he's secretly in love with. Eventually, they get back from their journey because they're bored of playing pirates, only for Huck to find out that he's been orphaned. He takes this news as not much of a shock, and he becomes Batman. He gains a lot of bat strength from his bat-dependent diet, and he uses it to beat up people who wronged him, like his dead dad and the old witch who kidnapped him. He finally got his revenge in the end for her trying to weaken him by taking him off of a bat diet. Eventually, Huck dies because he got rabies from eating all the bats. They didn't have a treatment for it. He dies as he lived, as Batboy. The end. This concludes another episode of Book Talk. If you like it, come back for more, and comment what book you want me to read next. Remember to quote me in your essays.